Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day to start things off. More than 6 months after the China National Development and Reform Commission proposed to categorize Bitcoin mining as an industry to be phased out of the country, it appears the agency has now scrapped that plan. The National Development and Reform Commission, NDRC, a top-level economic planning agency under China's State Council, published a finalized new catalog for guiding industry restructuring on Wednesday that will take effect on the 1st of January of next year. That's about a good 6-7 weeks away. In the final version, which will replace the current one, obviously, published in 2011, the agency has removed Bitcoin mining or other virtual currency mining activities from the initially proposed category of industries that should be eliminated from China. Description related to virtual currency or Bitcoin mining can't be found in the finalized catalog. Formerly published in 1998, the NDRC is now one of 26 cabinet-level departments, which all together form the State Council of the Chinese central government. The main role of the NDRC focuses on studying and penning economic reform strategies and policies to be executed at local level governments. Pretty much meaning, for those of you who have been living under a digital rock the last couple of weeks, China has, unsurprisingly, if you've been paying attention to the news over the last year, opened their arms once again for some reason to blockchain, crypto, digital currency, assets, so-and-so, yada, yada, yada. We've gotten in a tremendous amount of good news over the last about 6-7 months cumulatively together, and it appears also very good news that there were indications before that potentially China could be banning Bitcoin mining, which is the most largest faction of it that we'll kind of pay attention to, because China at the moment, depending on where you look, depending on where the computers are located in China, they control anywhere currently, depending on the company, anywhere from 40 to around 60-something% of all the Bitcoin hash rate in the world, etc., etc. So there were fears earlier this year as well when the company Bitmain, who has a huge amount of the Bitcoin hashing power, had confirmed that they were going to be opening a new office within, I believe it was Texas, and also somewhere else, and they're going to have a huge new mining rig factory, awesome, mega, super, ultra, whatever type of thing. So the idea was they're moving to America because it's going to be banned in China. Lo and behold, that's not going to happen at all. On every single front, except maybe, question mark, for cryptocurrency trading, China is okay with Bitcoin. I think you cannot use it as a means of exchange. Like, you can't buy something in the store with it. Cool, fine, who cares? You can still invest in it. You can buy it over the counter. You cannot trade it, but you can buy over the counter and sell over the counter as long as they have like a proper record of what's going on. And now it appears, once again, Bitcoin mining will not be banned within China because they're probably mining it themselves. Just speculative guess. Question mark? Anyway, let's move on. Next up, where is it? There we go. Facebook's plan to build Libra, a digital asset that's backed by a basket of fiat currencies, has no shortage of detractors. In the months following its announcement, the project has sparked controversy and plenty of outrage among regulators worldwide who warn that Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg can't be trusted with sensitive financial data. And then there's the issue of billions of users. A digital currency in the hands of a social media behemoth could, they believe, shake the global financial system to its core. The European Union will consider a possible ban on high-risk cryptocurrency projects and move to block the launch of Libre, according to a report published recently by Reuters. The U.S. financial regulator wants all options to be put on the table, which include preventing the digital currency's ongoing development because it presents excessive risks. Daniel Daianu, president of Romania's Fiscal Council, says Libre is very dangerous, while pointing out that such assets are part of the logic of those who believe that there is a need for parallel markets and look forward to the disappearance of central banks. In the latest proposal, which is likely to be discussed during an upcoming meeting with EU finance ministers on Friday, European regulators make the case that Libre and other similar initiatives should not operate or begin operation within the European Union. The alarm over tech giants like Facebook that threaten to usurp the role of central banks is promoting the EU to consider launching its own public digital currency. This happened, I think, a day or two ago. Someone had mentioned, I think it was a bit of a slip up, maybe, that the European Union is thinking of potentially launching their own central bank digital currency as a response to things like Libra that could potentially have a hold of, begin growing inside of the European Union world area. Pretty much any company that was thinking about making their own currency that could potentially be a threat to central banks and or normal banks or any other type of centralized entity. They're thinking about trying to go around it completely by making the digital euro. Not sure exactly how that's going to happen. There are a couple of countries within the European Union who don't want one. I think it's more Western European countries who are more like opposed to the idea, but I think this has also been proposed by some people within Germany, within France, and I think maybe that's about it. I don't think we've heard anything. We haven't heard a word about a digital pound, at least at the moment. I'm pretty sure there's a discussion about it going on. Anyway, I wonder how they would be able to go about this. I wonder, and I think I'm thinking in more of a, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That would definitely happen, but people don't run on logic. I was like, imagine, so we had about two months ago, we had information from one of the CEOs of Libra, one of the higher head ups, whatever, who was like, in the beginning, we actually planned on using Bitcoin, but we found that Bitcoin was a bit too slow for what we wanted to do, and therefore we decided to make our own currency, and this is why we have Libra. I was like, imagine a perfect world where Facebook is like, oh yeah, Libra is just not going to work out. Too many restrictions. Why don't we just integrate Bitcoin into Facebook? Why don't we just allow people to be able to transact Bitcoin back and forth through apps? And I was like, no, that's, first of all, they're a company, so they're going to be greedy. Secondly, imagine them taking the initiative to actually do the right thing. It's just not going to happen. So I scrapped that in my mind immediately. Let's see exactly how this ends up going. I am going to assume this is also the reason why we heard from the people from Libra talking about that they were going to scrap the multi-currency basket to be able to back Libra, and that they would simply just launch stable coins against the dollar, the pound, the yen, the euro, the this and then that. But I think regulators also still don't care at this point. They're just trying to destroy it. And I'm fairly certain when or strong if a Libra ban does happen in multiple other countries. I think we already had indications that it's not going to launch in China. It's not going to launch in Russia. I think Australia also said a huge big no. I think this is why we've heard news as well, for those of you who weren't here, that Facebook is trying to get more of a hold in Africa and I think certain parts of South America. Because money. The point being, before I trail off far too much, it looks like there's going to be a ban on Libra. I wonder if they're able to legally ban Libra. It is going to be centralized, so they can't just simply say you as a company cannot do this. Will Facebook do the right thing? Probably not. Should they do the right thing? Of course, they're not going to. Imagine the rally or the 8-9 month period of glorious upward movement we would have if Facebook had announced we're going to be integrating Bitcoin as opposed to going along with this silly charade. Anyway, let's move on. So this story begins the rest of the video because something very interesting appears to be happening in the world right now. Ripple, the San Francisco-based fintech that offers enterprise solutions for global payments, says it now has more than 300 clients using its cross-border technology to move money across borders. They say we have also seen a 10x year-on-year growth in transactions on RippleNet, our global networks of banks, financial institutions, and payment providers that send money globally, instantly, and reliably for fractions of a penny. At this year's Swell 2019 conference in Singapore, the company is currently marking a one-year mark. Who wrote this article? 1 year mark of its XRP-based global cross-border payment solution known as XRapid, which is now called ODL, or On-Demand Liquidity. Here's a little tweet right there. The San Francisco-based startup has also revealed a quote from MoneyGram CEO Alex Holmes, talking about ODL, saying one of the core strengths of MoneyGram is our global liquidity and settlement engine that enables our customers to send money in over 200 countries and territories. Our partnership with Ripple has helped us to improve the strength, and we've so. For the first time ever, we've settling currencies in seconds. Because of these results, we're expanding our partnership with Ripple and are excited to announce that we have started executing foreign currency trades with the Philippine peso using ODL, formerly known as XRP, meaning that they're using XRP to be able to transact value through one of their corridors. Yay, wonderful, cool, amazing. Second little 1.5 of a point I'm going to throw out there. Swell has been going on for I think like 2.5 days now. I have been hard pressed to find any website talking about Swell. No one's talking about it. And I don't mean that as far as like, oh yeah, it's garbage, no one's talking about it. I mean more like a when Ethereum has a conference, people are deep in there making sure to note exactly how amazing Ethereum is, even though it hasn't been upgraded. Anyway, the point being, Swell is going on. It's now been announced that Ripple has over 300 clients. So year-on-year growth, blah 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 blah. This ties also, every single story is linked within each other. Tying into this, Ripple Senior Vice President of Product, Ashish Birla, says the company now has 24 customers signed up to use its XRP-based cross-border payment solution. The San Francisco startup launched its solution in October 2018. It was originally called XRapid, but has been recently rebranded as On-Demand Liquidity. A year after the commercial release of On-Demand Liquidity, we have seen 24 customers sign on and we're making an impact. In 2020, expect more volumes, more corridors, more customers experiencing the benefits of Ripple's On-Demand Liquidity. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. Not that Ripple and or XRP are amazing. It's more of a pay attention to the sequence of events that seem to be happening within the cryptocurrency space, tying directly into this as well, and I'll give it to them. This is actually a very clever title. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says instead of swelling, Ripple's XRP is selling hard. But why? Without going into all the so they're talking about the event, how this is happening, how they're talking about how they have a very good presence. Tons of people are there. They've been talking to Forbes. This has been happening. They're talking to Bloomberg. This has been so. People have been getting on stage talking about the usage of XRP, how much they've expanded, how much they've so. And yet, XRP seems to be selling off. Tying into this one as well, it says so far November has started off as a relatively uneventful month for Bitcoin's price action, but all of this could change before the weekend is over. Let's take a quick view of the charts to see what's in store. For those of you who are not looking at the screen once again, the title says Bitcoin rallies the hardest in November. So why are the charts bearish? And they talk about the price, where the price has been going. On the daily time frame, Bitcoin's price is pulling closer to the 20-day moving average, the DMA, which lines up with the volume gap on the volume profile visible range, or the VPVR. A drop below 9,100 could see the price fall to 8,950, where buyers could show some interest. If buyers fail to buy the dip, the price could sink to 8,600. If 8,600 does not include buyers, then 8,300 could be the next stop for Bitcoin, as this is a clear support there. Traders looking for reasons to go short will notice that the MACD is above the rollover and the shrinking ring of bars, so. For those of you who don't know, who are not looking at the screen once again, Bitcoin is currently under 9,100, indicating that we could potentially be in the market for a lower price of Bitcoin relatively soon. Tying, say it with me, directly into the next story, we have this. Bobby Ong, the co-founder of price tracker and market data aggregator CoinGecko, says that wash trading in the cryptocurrency market appears to be getting worse. Wash trading is the practice that's used to manipulate markets and to pump up the appearance of marketplace activity. An investor will simultaneously sell a financial instrument and then buy it back, or vice versa, generating fake trading volume to lure and mislead other investors. Remember, we had this situation before. It was no more than a year ago where we had indications that there were a number of people, and I think it was across major cryptocurrency exchanges, all of them, Okay, maybe not all of them. I can't say all of them because nothing is certain. This is all alleged. No one knows if this actually 1000% took place. The information that we had received was that on many major trading platforms, people had figured out ways to initiate a sell order of some sort that could not be filled. They had requirements that for some reason no one would be able to fill it. However, people saw this sell off, or that someone was trying to sell 15,000 Bitcoin at one time. People panicked. At the same exact time, the sell order would go away. A buy order would appear after all those Bitcoin had been sold off, and that person would have simply bought them back. This was also happening on other cryptocurrency exchanges as well, where somebody was selling off, huge amount of sell off, and for some reason on the same exact, or rather another website, someone was also buying up, pretty much being able to put in buy and or sell orders to be able to swing the market however you want to go. The issue is that people are also doing this on other cryptocurrency exchanges to generate fake trading volume. In a new interview with Block TV, Ong affirms that market manipulation continues unabated and that the only way to get clean data on crypto trading volumes is from regulated exchanges. Keeping in mind, it's been about a good 4 months, since we had the information that how do I always forget them? It's not the CFTC. It's the Economic World Police people, the people who are like, you have to follow our rules for cryptocurrency exchanges. And this is why we've also had news about a day or two ago, or was it, that Binance is now regulated and they have to now work with the people from CipherTrace. I think, yeah, was it Binance US or was it just normal Binance who were on CipherTrace? I think Binance Coin is also on CipherTrace. I think this is one of the things that they have to do in order to be able to stick around. They said, I would say that the situation is actually getting worse. The trading volume for the spot market is close not to being used as a trusted source anymore. There are so many exchanges that are just wash trading that it's ridiculous. If you want to get real 24-hour trading volume, I think the only way to look at volume for regulated exchanges as those in the US or Japan, those licensed exchanges, Coinbase, Gemini, and Japanese regulated exchanges. Those regulated exchanges, he keeps saying regulated, will likely have legit volumes, whereas everyone else is staying in the non-regulated space. We don't really know which ones are wash trading, which ones are not wash trading. It's hard to say which is real and what is not. This little chart, nope, here. For those of you wondering at all what a trusted, air quotes, I'm air quoting 5 times in a row, cryptocurrency exchange score looks like. And for those of you not looking at the screen, the most trusted by top score are Binance, Kraken, Bitfinex, Qcoin, I think they're Korean, Poloniex, Bittrex, Coinbase Pro, Huobi Global, Bitstamp, and Gate.io. These appear to be the most trusted, regulated. Anyway, what we are seeing or experiencing, and forgive me as I am human if I make a mistake. However, from my viewpoint, I have said it before, and I think that the cryptocurrency space is experiencing a very strong bout of manipulation on many fronts. And I'll give it to you this way. A year and some change ago, we would have been hard-pressed to have news from Ripple that they had 300 new clients, and the price would have gone down. We would have been hard-pressed if XRP, people from Ripple, had announced that XRP was being used by 24 customers and the price went down. For those of you not keeping track, especially for everything else that's been going on, yesterday we had news that Square has been reached a new all-time selling high of Bitcoin, and that if they continue on this track, I think it comes out to, what was it? I saw another article. If just the Square app, that's not any other exchange, that's not any other app, that's not any other country, any other institution. If the Square app continues selling Bitcoin at their current rate, by the time Bitcoin's reward gets cut in half, they will be selling 16% or buying up and selling 16% of all the new Bitcoin that will be created. We also had China, the president of China, telling 1.4 billion people that it's time to dive into blockchain. We had backed launching. We had backed volumes going up higher than they were before. Massive amounts of Bitcoin being accumulated by institutions, banks, countries. Coinbase and Binance setting new records for people in their platforms and their value. Coinbase now having, remember this? Coinbase having over 25 million people in the US alone who now own Bitcoin and are constantly buying Bitcoin. Ripple having over 300 partners, 24 using XRP. Litecoin's reward getting cut in half. Litecoin activating Mimblewimble. Ethereum updating in less than a month. They said the 4th of December. It's the, what is today? 8th of November. Crypto regulations, while not the coolest, most awesome, amazing thing ever, it's opened the doors for people who are shouting that we needed regulation for them to be able to get into the cryptocurrency market. Bitmain opening new locations, showing that there's a huge new interest in cryptocurrency mining. The mining charts that we had before from Bitcoin that had gone down during 2018 and it certainly started spiking once again in 2019. And also a little cherry on top is that guy from Russia announcing that he was some Russian official that he planned on creating, or rather he was using an abandoned factory and he was buying Bitcoin mining equipment. So he plans on mining 20% of all the Bitcoin in the world. And that's just the stuff off the top of my head this second that I could remember. We've received nothing but very good news in the cryptocurrency space, even as prices were falling during the course of 2018. The discussion, and I'm sure this will be a heated one, of technical analysis and where Bitcoin is going to go, where XRP is going to go, and a lot of other stuff is going to go. Like I said, forgive me, I'm only human. The discussion that we continuously have is that this is going to happen, or that that's going to happen, or that this is going to take place, and people scream at me in the comment section that I'm an idiot. I have no idea what's going on. I should read technical analysis. I should really get into it. And they tell me where the prices are going to go, and I stay silent. I read the comments. I go, okay. I think about giving them a little heart, but I think that's a little not rude. I can't think of the word. You know what I mean. I don't want somebody to scream at me and I go, heart. None of it has come true. None of it has come to fruition. It is clear that markets are just manipulated. Any of the movement that we should have seen is simply not there. I don't think that collectively, now think of it this way. You can think of it from a traditional standpoint or even a cryptocurrency standpoint. Regardless of what markets should be doing or what technical analysis says, let's say, for instance, we only have 50 million people within the cryptocurrency space, and technical analysis says that this is going to happen and this is so happens, so and so happens, and it doesn't end up happening. Keeping in mind, always, there's not a collective joint mind unit of 50 million people in the world who are collectively saying at the same exact time or texting each other that they're planning on selling off Bitcoin at the exact same time. This market is controlled by people who we called whales, or people who are very rich. There's no instance in our planet. We as humans have trouble coming together to recycle, to throw things out, to not have a party in the street and not have the entire street messed up. I find it very hard to think that we could be able to come together as a single-minded unit to sell off at the exact same time, to buy in at the exact same time. The same exact things goes with the traditional stock market. Let's say estimatedly, not a word, you may have 1 billion people around the world who are into stocks. And people keep saying, well, the charts are showing this and the charts are showing that and the charts are showing this. And then the price ends up moving and it's like, wow, yeah, you see this chart definitely showed that. Normal people who have pensions, who made slightly day trade, who trade penny stocks and stuff like that, are not responsible for the major movements in the market. It's always the richest people who move things around. For those of you who don't know, banks are also very much into the stock market as well. They buy and sell and hold and trade and do this and so and so. And so they buy up securities, they buy up bonds, they sell off bonds, they do all this other stuff to be able to make money on the side. The same goes for banks, central banks. It's another way of having money on their, not charts, portfolio, on the books. Other ways of them making money. What we have right now, like I said, forgive me if I'm incorrect. It just seems to be the way that things are going. The fact that the last year, people have been telling me, remember all those people on Twitter who were talking about Bitcoin was going to go here, Bitcoin was going to go there. Bitcoin's definitely going up. I can see it in the charts, and 5 people had the same exact chart. 2 days later, the price of Bitcoin slammed back down. Well, my chart also showed that there was a possibility of that. Well, that's funny because you didn't tell that to anybody. You didn't tell anybody that the price could have moved the other way. You were only saying one way. I firmly believe, this is just me, because I watch other cryptocurrency channels just to see what's going on. Sometimes I think maybe I don't have all the news, maybe I don't have all the information, and I watch people, especially people who do technical analysis, just so I can get a good hint as to what's happening within the cryptocurrency market. And I always find it very interesting that people's charts are always so dramatically different. No one ever has the exact same chart. No one ever has the exact same thing. Or they make sure to mention that they got their charts from someone else within the cryptocurrency space who has also maybe been correct 1 or 2 other times before, and therefore they're going to go after that person's chart, and therefore they're going to say, within the next couple of days, we're going to rally. I've seen it before. I will not name any names within the cryptocurrency space. Just to be fair, there are tons of channels all over the place. You've seen it for Bitcoin, you've seen it for Ether, you've seen it for XRP, you've seen it for Litecoin, you've seen it for EOS, you've seen it for Tezos, you've seen it for other coins you've never heard of. Their charts will show that you should buy at this time. I see on this date, because X, Y, and Z is going to happen, that this is also going to happen, and therefore the price of this coin is also going to go up. I see, because this is happening with so-and-so, that XRP is definitely going to go up. XRP definitely has to go up. Our charts are showing, most bullish ever, Bitcoin's probably going to hit about 14,000 within the next 2.5 days. And I don't say a word. I sit there, I watch, I absorb, and then I see what ends up happening. And when I mention things like that on my channel, and then people scream at me in the comment section, I've been called every single name in the book. If I should have had like an actual book and just written down everything that people, that could have made a really good book. Like, imagine like when I'm like 70 years old and I'm like flipping through, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember being called that. The stuff that people have called me, it's amazing. Thank you. I mean, the some of the brains out there. The market is manipulated by rich people. That's just how it goes. There's not a collective that's happening around the world where everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's time to sell. We need to all sell right now. It's usually about a good, I'll give it anywhere from 100 to 1,000 people in the world who probably have slightly accurate charts. The other scale being the 1,000 who are very rich people who know how markets work and know that because the liquidity is so low within the cryptocurrency market that they can do the swings any way that they want. We've had news like this since 2017. To think that it's still not happening is ridiculous. Until we hit about a good $5 trillion Bitcoin market cap, manipulation like this is going to continue to happen. This isn't meaning. This isn't meant, or I did not mean to scare you out of the market, or this is not the point of it. It's more that I keep seeing news about this is going to happen with the charts. This is going to happen with the charts. It never ends up happening. None of what anyone has ever told me over the last year plus has come true. When people scream at me in the comment section, telling me that I should look into technical analysis, and then I do, and I read about it, I learn a little bit about it, I understand what the meaning behind it is, or what it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to be about the human interaction, and the human this, and the human sentiment, and the human so and so and so. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with very rich people who are moving the market at will. We're at the point right now where I've begun to believe if governments have such an issue with Libra, they probably have an issue with Bitcoin, and they're probably understanding what Bitcoin could become in the next couple of years, and I'll show you exactly how that holds true, exactly what I just said. So I would assume behind the scenes, it's probably a very big tug of war going on where people are trying to figure out how to make Bitcoin stay or how to make Bitcoin go. And I think the go side is more governments and central banks who are probably also playing both sides as well. We've seen that happen multiple times in our existence, our world. It's just really weird because I saw a couple of people talking about the Swell conference online. They were announcing that the price was going to go up and this was going to happen. I do find it really weird. I mean, think of it from a logical standpoint. Imagine if we had just gotten indications that there were going to be 24 new companies who were going to be only using Bitcoin as a means of transacting value, or that the people from Bakkt had just signed on Bakkt, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, blah, blah, the so-and-so, this and the that, and the so and so forth, had just signed on 300 new clients announcing that they were going to be integrating Bitcoin into their platform to be able to use it as a means of transacting, even if it wasn't just like a micro transaction type thing. At the end of the day, if they decided to send $24 million from one company to another, they would only do so in Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin went down in price. I don't know. There's just, it's a multitude of things. I can't be the only one who feels this way out there. And I mean, you also have to realize, this isn't me trying to shut anyone down, but if you look back, here's the most important part. I'll put it to you this way. I was reading a book about scams years ago and how scams easily trick people, and how people, it was about why people fall for pyramid schemes. And it was this simple thing within the mind that tells people this can't be a scam because I'm in it. It can't be a scam because I can get people into it as well. There was an example inside the book, and it read like this, if I can remember it correctly. It said, this is how scams are performed online. Let's say you, as a person, you yourself, I'm pointing at you, you have a situation where you send out 1,000 emails, 500 to one set of people and 500 to the other set of people. You tell the first half, I know where the stock market is going. The stock market is definitely going to go up. The other 500 people, you send them all an email that says, I know where the stock market is going. The stock market in the next week is definitely going to go down. By the end of the week, the stock market has had to move in one direction. And let's say it goes up. Those 500 go, okay, good. I see you kind of know what you're doing. Let's continue a little bit more. From those 500, you cut it down to 250. You send 250, I know where the stock market is going. The stock market's going to go up. The other one you say, I know where the stock market's going. Stock market's going to go down. At the end of the week, you have to be correct in one direction. The stock market went down. Those people go, okay, you've been right twice. Let's see how much further you go. You split those into 125. You send 125, it's going to go up. 125, it's going to go down. The market moves in one direction because it simply has to, and those people go, okay, dude, you're really, really good. You're kind of scaring me with how good you are. Those 125, you split it in half. Go, it's going to go up. It's going to go down. You have to be right in one direction. You have a now smaller pie. You keep cutting it down until you have about a good 18, 19 people who say, this guy has been correct 6 weeks in a row. I trust him. He definitely knows where the market is going to go. And this is when they start giving you money. This is when they start giving you praise. And this is how a scam works. I've seen far too many people, this is just my opinion, I've seen far too many people on Twitter, on all these places. This person has 38,000 followers. This person has 65,000 followers. I pay attention to BS very carefully. When people say that something's going to happen for a fact, I perk up my ears and I listen and I wait to see them be wrong, because no one knows where the market is going. Even more so, what bothers me is that people never really look back. Look at all the this is how I feel. Look at the technical analysis channels who have told you, potentially hundreds of thousands of other people, where a price was definitely going to go. About a good week and a half later, they give you a new video that shows you where the price has gone, but it does not match their previous prediction. Humans pay attention to what's currently in front of them and not what has happened before in the past. There's a very strong reason why this is not a technical analysis channel, and why I never say that something is definitely going to happen, that this is 100% going to take place. I make sure to tell you once again, Bitcoin could hit zero tomorrow. You could lose all of your money. This is a very risky market. Never, ever forget that. I do not know, nor does anyone else know where the market is going to go. We've had price predictions. We've had price this. We've had price estimates. We've had price blah, blah, blah. We've had price so and so, where the cryptocurrency market was going to move. I think it's happened correctly once or twice. And I think they got lucky. Because before, they were always incorrect, but people always forget the incorrect predictions. You know, another really interesting thing, before I got into cryptocurrencies, I was thinking about getting very heavily into the gold and silver market. People have been asking me before in the comment sections, especially when we were talking about what would you do with $500,000 about a day or two ago. Some people were asking me, multiple people asked me, and sorry for not being able to get back to many of you. People were asking me, would you not buy any gold or silver? Years ago, before I got into crypto, I used to watch a multitude of channels about finance and saving and retirement and gold and silver and gold and silver and gold and silver. And I remember looking at these people's videos being in awe, and they would say, yeah, you know, our charts are showing us over the next couple of weeks, silver's going to skyrocket. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, I have to start buying silver. I remember telling my friends, like, dude, the silver market's going to explode. The next video that they had, it came about 2 days later. Yeah, you know, the price of silver hasn't moved, and it's because of so and so and so, but our charts are showing us it's definitely going to move up. And I'm like, okay, it didn't happen last time, but I'm definitely going to get into it. This went on for about a good 6-7 weeks, me trying to absorb the market as much as possible. And I started saying, wow, this guy's getting like 85,000 views per video. He's helping so many people with buying silver and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. So let me look at his old videos, because he's been right the last couple of weeks. I think this was in 2014. I think I shot back to his videos in 2012. And you guess what his videos were about? Yeah, guys, our charts over here are showing, you know, silver's about to skyrocket, man. You know, and I'm like, that's weird. Silver's price has actually gone down since he made that video. Let me check his other videos. He had a video from like 2010, 2011. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. Nobody knows where any market is going to go. If I ever tell you, ever, that a price is definitely going to go somewhere, that Bitcoin is 1,000% going to move in this way, leave my channel, curse me out in the comment section, disappear, never talk to me again. No one knows, and I cannot know, and neither can anyone else. The point is to kind of reel this in and bring it all home. The market is manipulated. Every market's manipulated. It's going to stay manipulated until manipulation just can't manipulate no more. I have no idea what I was aiming at there. The entire point being, the market is irrational. The market doesn't make any sense. I don't think the market's going to make any sense for a very long time. All we can kind of put together, because I saw people when I woke up this morning asking me, why was the market down? Why is the market going down? Is there a reason for the market to go down? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are also going to have the same exact question if Bitcoin does drop below $9,000. It's because the richest people in the world are moving the markets how they want and are probably, maybe, dropping the prices down so that they can buy more themselves. It's just how things go. We are in a market where we have a digital coin that could potentially hit $100,000 one day, potentially, per coin, and it's driving people insane, and it's causing them to do things like this within the market. Same exact thing with XRP. You may not like Ripple. You may hate XRP. You may hate the term XRapid or on-demand liquidity. The way that it's setting up, the way that analysts are actively looking at XRP, is that it could be a very large asset in the future because of its current usage right now and the amount of partnerships that Ripple has and just their connections within the current financial world. I don't have the article somewhere here, but Mr. Garlinghouse has grown a pair over the last 2 weeks, talking very, very negatively about Facebook and Facebook not launching. He started announcing that Facebook was not going to launch Libra before regulators had announced that Libra was not going to be launched by Facebook, which leads me to believe that he's somewhere within that inner circle and maybe has an indication as to exactly where the future of payments is going, simply because my friend messaged me yesterday and he was like, I didn't know all this. And I was like, well, you should have. Ripple's board of directors is made up of people from the SEC, the CFTC. They hang out with the people from the International Monetary Fund, what's the other one? The BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank's central bank. And they are friendly with every regulator in the world. So one can only assume this is why Mr. Garlinghouse was coming forward and being very brazen. And he was like, nope, they're not going to launch. But we do have XRP that everybody could buy, because I'm pretty sure that this is happening behind the scenes. Anyway, the market makes no sense. It's not going to make any sense. I don't expect it to make any sense anytime soon. The only negative things that I could find within the news right now as to an indication why maybe the prices are going down. We have this news right here. Russian authorities are seeking legal means to confiscate virtual assets such as cryptocurrencies, as they already can with more traditional forms of property. In an effort to fight cybercrime, the Ministry of Internal Affairs intends to develop legislation allowing law agencies to force criminals to hand over ill-gotten digital gains, and wants proposals on the books by December 2020, according to a report from Russian news source RBC on Thursday. Pretty much meaning, if you kind of read through the entire thing or read between the lines, they want to be able to say that if someone has done something illegal, who knows what that illegal thing is, that they're then able to seize or take cryptocurrencies from these people at will, which is very dystopian. But if you follow the news about certain places in the world before, you know that this is already common practice, but now they're just trying to make sure that they can do it digitally. The other negative thing, air quotes, could have been the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Christopher Wray, says that cryptocurrencies present a significant and growing problem for the intelligence agency. Director of that same exact thing on the 5th of November during the hearing before the U.S. Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs. Senators asked leaders from the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, Homeland Security, and the National Counterterrorism Center questions on topics including counterterrorism efforts, yada, 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 money, and cryptocurrencies. Former presidential candidate and Republican Senator Utah Mitt Romney asked the intelligence agency or officers whether the U.S. should not take some kind of effort in dealing with cryptocurrencies and its challenges they present law enforcement agencies, yada, so. He said, I'm not in the banking committee. I don't begin to understand how cryptocurrencies work. I would think it is more difficult to carry out your work when we can't follow the money because the money is hidden from us, and wonder whether there should be not some kind of effort taken in our nation to deal with cryptocurrencies. He said, for us, cryptocurrency is already a significant issue, and we can project out pretty easily that it's going to become a bigger and bigger one. Whether or not that is the subject of some kind of regulation as a response, it's harder for me to speak to. Pretty much saying, this was a very tiny hint. Should we ban cryptocurrencies? Kind of thing. And as this has been discussed before within the US, but maybe not as prominently, as strongly, as directly as this has been announced. And also someone from the FBI announcing that they see or foresee Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies becoming a bigger and bigger problem as time goes on. It's not negative, but it's sure as heck isn't a positive for the cryptocurrency space. So this the major two negative things, and if you also want to include Europe also trying to ban Libre once again, then by all means go for it. They've been talking about that since June. We've seen before in the past that negative news does not always affect Bitcoin's price. However, this could be a potential reason why the price of Bitcoin has gone down because of the negative news from two countries talking about seizing and or banning Bitcoin. But besides that, it's just been an avalanche of good news. And once again, I do not think personally, regardless of what you tell me, please come back to me by the end of this year. Keep telling me your charts. Give me all your charts. Throw your charts in my face. If by the end of the year your charts have not been correct, and even more so, look back at the other charts that you've been told to look at over the last couple of months from other people on the internet who told you that the price was going to go in a certain direction and it did not. The market's controlled by rich people. Everything is controlled by rich people. How do you think the prices of real estate have gone up so much? It's not that there's like an actual fervor of people who are like, oh my gosh, I have to buy property. It's central banks and governments and other really rich families around the world. There's one family who owns, I think, like 10% of all the property within London. It's rich people buying up all this stuff. They know how to control the markets and they know how to move the... Anyway, yeah, look into that as well. I was shocked about that myself. Last year, I was reading about that. There are tons of families, very rich families around the world who are never going to be poor. These families buy up entire fractions of cities. They coordinate with each other and say, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. There's one family, they own 1/10 of all the real estate in London, or like every 10th building or something like that belongs to them. I think they're also buying like fractions of Washington, D.C. And this it's money's crazy. Money is absolutely out of, dare I say, out of this world. As always, a very special, where is it? Thank you. There we go. To my Patreon supporters. Couldn't find the list. I was like, my phone broken. To my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gun, Blot University, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroad Network, Adobo, Mill Louise, Have to Charge My Phone, Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick, Kanai, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes, 2, Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Buucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, and AFMC staff. Thank you all very, very much for all of your support. I give you a huge digital hug. At the moment, for those of you not looking at the screen, can you guess? Crypto market's down. Bitcoin on this chart says $9,016. This one just said, this one right here shows Bitcoin has dipped below $9,000. Yeah, this is where we are. XRP is down by 5.3%. Doesn't make a lot of sense. What else is there? Lumens is down. Tron is down. Cardano's down. The stable coins down up-ish. Tether's red, but it's still up. Maybe there's a little dip that's happened over the last couple of seconds. Tezos was up because of the news that we had from Coinbase that they were adding the Tezos staking for the common public, and I think it went up by like 30%. Already sliding back down. Maker's up for some odd reason. USD coin is up, of course. Where's the other one? Pax is also up, as these are stable coins and people are selling off the market. What else is anything significant? Yada yada yada. Nothing is like no kind of credit going on. Yeah, that's the market that we have today. I wish I could have given you that's news as we move into Friday. However, this is what we have. This is what we've been given. And let us bask in its redness. I don't know what else to say. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. You know I like to hear from you guys and gals. Tell me what you think is affecting the market. Like I said, I may be incorrect. However, I read a lot, I look around a lot, and find out how scams work. Not saying that the people who are giving you TA and stuff like that are scams, but it's just how the human mind works. If someone keeps giving us information that we choose ourselves to look at selectively, and these things end up coming true or something adjacent to true ends up happening as to what they said, this is what we usually end up following. And it usually comes down to people saying, yeah, the price is going to go here. The price is definitely going to go there. Look back at their old videos and you'll notice the prices they told you did not happen. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. I hope you all have a great, like a really great Friday. Is today Friday? I keep saying Friday. Today is Friday. Enjoy it after work. Be amazing. Do something cool. Even if it's just you going home and watching Netflix with your cat. Tell your cat I said hello. I can't think of anything else to say. I'm extremely hungry. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See